the DJI Mavic 3 in 2021. Bill the Drone Reviewer here. If you like the content of this video or anything on my channel, make sure you hit the subscribe button and ring the notification bell so you don't miss any future content. With that, let's begin. The other night, I hosted Rotor Talk Live and was joined by my co-host, Mr. Marcus Crawford and Mr. Ron Braun. We spent a large part of the evening discussing DJI, and in particular, we discussed, will DJI be releasing the DJI Mavic 3 in 2021? So without any further ado, let's roll that clip in its entirety out of this. Now, this is going to lead us to the last subject that we're going to talk about tonight, and the DJI Mavic 3 in 2021. Now, you know, I was setting this up, and I did this in order, and I did it on purpose because, you know, we know what DJI has given us with the Mavic Air 2, all right? It has been an extraordinary drone, all right? Just extraordinary. We have enough, even without the smart controller, to do videos for the next several months on that, okay? And to look at all the nooks and crannies of the wonderful gift that they've given us. I mean, it's just like, you know, I want to get out there and do that. My next one's going to be the Dolly Zoom, and then I'm going to want to do A-Pass, and, you know, and then the different hyperlapses we can do now, you know, and on and on and on. And then we have the smart controller to go with it. So, you know, it's just like, it's incredible what we have on that right now. Okay. Now, you know, there was an article that Hay put out on this, and I want to touch on this a little bit here. You know, DJI Mavic 3 Pro to replace the Phantom 4 Pro, and likely also the Inspire 2 drone, which was kind of interesting, okay? The Mavic 3 is expected to arrive in two versions, a regular and a DJI Mavic 3 Pro. Both versions will make the Phantom 4 Pro obsolete, but the Mavic 3 Pro is even expected to replace the aging Inspire 2. You know, DJI, the Inspire 2 still uses Lightbridge technology, which is old. And, you know, it's nothing like OcuSync 2. It's also been rumored that the new Mavic 3 Pro will have interchangeable lenses and may be working on a stabilized zoom lens option. I think if these rumors become reality, Mavic 3 Pro will surely mean the end of the Inspire 2 series. Now, they said Phantom 4 Pro production will be stopped at that point as well, and DJI might only opt to keep producing the Phantom 4 RTK and P4 multispectral, okay? So, you know, I just kind of wanted to touch upon that just for a minute here. But, you know, one of the things here is timing, okay? The timing is not right, okay? Let's, you know, we'll take some things into account. First of all, the Mavic Air 2, you know, you don't want to step on the sales of the Mavic Air 2. I'm getting new members every day in that group, which tells me people are buying that drone. You know, and if people are looking to buy a drone, like between a Mavic 2 and a Mavic Air 2, they're buying the Mavic Air 2 right now, guys. I mean, it's a slam dunk. It really is, especially, you know, with the Mavic 2 Zoom. Okay, nobody's going to be buying the Zoom right now. Everybody's going to buy the Mavic Air 2. All right, there's the first thing. All right, now the other thing is COVID-19. All right, now, you know, and I'm going to say this, and this isn't political, you know. It's like Congress is probably going to get out some more stimulus money to everybody, okay, which is a good thing. And the idea behind the stimulus money is to spend that and get the economy going, okay? Everybody knows that kind of stuff, okay? Now, you know, I know for you guys and for me, you know, it's like, okay, you know, the first thing I think when I get stimulus money is, you know, if I said new drone to Valerie, okay, you'd be seeing a hole in my head right here, okay? You know, we're thinking about things like, you know, maybe we have hurricane season coming up, and we're thinking about getting like an inverter or a generator. So in case we lose power, to have something like that, you know, there's a lot of things, and that'll definitely help the economy. So, you know, a new drone is, and I would think, you know, for us, you know, especially over $1,000 drone, it's on way down on that list. Now, here's another thing. All right. And this is something I know Marcus has talked about this too. And, you know, talked about that $1,000 threshold. Well, you know, also too, with what our good old friends at the FAA are doing with remote ID. Okay. we don't know what's really going to come of that right now. So, you know, it's probably good. DJI is probably very good to just cool their heels on this until 2021. You know, hopefully the pandemic will be a thing of the past by then. We'll have a vaccine and therapeutics, and we'll be done, and we can move on from that. The economy will get picked up again, you know, and things will remain, you know, gather some semblance of normality. What are your guys' thoughts on this?
Well, everything that you said, I think, is valid, Bill. The only other thing that I'll add to it is they could also, you know, they're talking about, you know, two different versions of it, one more professional and one not. Now, you know, I put myself square in that consumer boat. I'll just be honest with you. I do not need a drone with interchangeable lenses and so forth. It's just nothing of my skill level that I would be able to use. Now, a 1-inch sensor, I can see how that might be something pretty cool. But beyond that, and you know, so it depends on what kind of home run feature they're going to put in that thing that makes it. And it was, we've said before, DJI always does that. They put something in there that we didn't know we needed till we see it, and we go, "Yep, that." And like Ted Bowman is saying in the chat right now, it's just what you just said, Bill. The Air is selling so well, they don't want to mess that up. And I think you and I have the same source, Bill, on DJI rumors. That individual may or may not be in the chat right now, but I'm thinking probably you know, it'll be late winter or early spring before we see something, and that even could be dependent on what happens with the economy.
Yeah, absolutely. Ron, what about your thoughts?
Well, you know, you guys already speculated on the release date of the Mavic 3, but I guess my point would be: do you guys realize if it is an interchangeable lens drone, you realize that they won't be able to sell for $1,500 or $1,600? That's going to take it to a whole other price level. And I know you read the thing that they're going to be two different models, so maybe they can keep the base Mavic 3 model at around the current price now of the Mavic 2 Pro. But that other one with the interchangeable lenses, you might as well, I mean, I'm just ballparking, throw an extra $1,000 on it. Now you've got yourself a, you know, between 26 to say $29,900 drone, and that's before you buy the extra lenses. Like maybe they give you like a kit lens or whatever, but you want to add a zoom or ultra wide angle or something like that too. You're talking, you know, by the time you get everything equipped or whatever, you could be in the $4,000 to $5,000 ballpark. And I guess that makes sense from the standpoint if they're going to eliminate like a pro level drone like the Inspire. I guess that makes sense, but it's a big leap to take the Mavic line that far the other direction. Yeah, I don't know. I don't kind of understand that marketing. You know, I'm not saying that wouldn't be a great drone that I'd want to have, but I don't understand the marketing of stretching the Mavic line, even the Mavic Pro line, that far away from where we're at now.
So Ron, I think like what you're saying is when you think about a Mavic, you think of it as a consumer drone, not as a commercial product, right?
Even like the Mavic, you know, the Mavic 2 Pro, we call it the Pro, but it's more like a semi-pro. You know what I mean? It's for
Right.
It's semi-professional drone. Yes, realtors can do great things with it, and maybe other type of professionals. But you know, I don't know if they're using it on movie sets or TV production sets, whatever, where they do want those lenses and filters and things like that. I'm talking way out of my class here since I don't do any of that type of stuff. But you know, again, I'm not saying it's not coming. I'm just not sure that that's the right move to have a Mavic 3 with an interchangeable lens system or whatever, you know, that we now see on the Aspire and the Matrice and the above. And then they have to format it. And I think that, again, I don't know really much about the Inspire up. But I think the Inspire uses the micro four thirds lenses or whatever, you know, which I guess are more affordable than the obviously the full frame or the crop sensor lenses. But still, you have to decide the lens system. Then what if you know, like if that's not the camera system you use as a land-based photographer, then you got different lenses. I don't know. I just see it. I just see that direction being a difficult direction to take the Mavic line of drones. And maybe I'm all wrong.
No, you make some points, Ron, and I think what DJI is probably trying to hint out here, and they've been doing this, okay, because obviously the Phantom 4 line in and of itself, as far as consumer drones, beyond the V2.0 is gone. It's let's get a tombstone up and put it up there, and I think they're kind of ringing the bell loud and clear that mobilization is key here. And how much easier, and I know since you both have owned a Phantom 4, how much easier is it to take a Mavic 2 series drone and with you versus a Mavic or Phantom 4? I mean, that's an obvious kind of question. I mean, that's like that's totally a no-brainer. So being able to get that form factor and being able to say just maybe tweak it an inch here or an inch there, or whatever they need to do, and to be able to put the technology that would exist, say, in Inspire 2, and put that in that type of a platform with a comprehensive set, a 1-inch sensor, a real robust camera and lens system on there, and like Ron would say, expect that to start out at about $2,500. I mean, that's not going to be, and that may not even be offered as a consumer type of an option. Okay. That would probably be, you would probably have to contact an authorized DJI dealer to probably even buy that. It's just, I'm just guessing at that, because I know that's what it is with the Enterprise series of drones, the Mavic 2. You have to contact a dealer to be able to buy those. You can't go to the store and buy something like that. I think
not one sitting on the shelf at Best Buy.
No, you can't go to Best Buy and pick one up. So I think I kind of get where DJI is going with this, and I think the other thing too, and I think it was alluded to in the article, talking about Lightbridge. Lightbridge is old technology as far as the communication protocols between the drone and a controller. Okay, with this, this is all in one. Now, I can tell you this after having been around people that have flown Inspires. When I went out with Mel and he was flying his Inspire 1, there's two controllers there. Okay, one person is controlling the drone and another person is controlling the camera. I mean, the controllers are identical, but the other one is basically just geared towards the camera. Okay, and I don't know about you guys, but for me, it's getting. I think DJI is making things easier, okay, and I also think having two people there, versus having one there, there's so much functionality that they're adding. I mean, I know I call them gimmicks, and I kind of get that from my dad.
And correct me if I'm wrong, but the Mavic line has that capability too of the double controller, I believe.
Yeah, it does.
I've never tried it, but I believe it does.
Yeah, it does. You're correct on that, Ron. It's like, my dad would always say that. And I think kind of what he meant by that was, okay, what you have here in this instance is, you have, this technology that has served well. Okay. And, it's time to like, okay, we're going to put that on the shelf. We're going to retire it. Here's another thing. Okay. And I can tell you this, and I've talked with Billy about this. Guys, doing a firmware update on an Inspire 2, you're going to spend the whole night updating it. I mean, there's like I think 3 or 4 things that you have to do to update firmware on the drone itself. All right. It's just, there's a lot to it. I mean, it's not an easy process versus, here's the Mavic 2, get out my cable. I bring up the DJI app here to download the firmware update from my PC, which I always recommend doing, and it's kind of a seamless process to do that. And You know, you might have to update the remote with that or not. But then here again also too is, you know, the smart controller working with the Mavic 3, you know, making this OcuSync 2.0. So, you know, there's a lot of pluses, I think, to this. Are they going to go and replace the Inspire 2? I don't know. You know, I think this is, you know, Hay is just kind of projecting here. We don't know something like that.
You do know the Inspire is long in the tooth, and
yeah,
if they were going to update it, it would be in the near future.
Yeah, I mean, you know, in Lightbridge is old technology. OcuSync 2.0. That's the way they're going. DJI's made it very clear.
Billy advised on one of the shows. He said that again, the Inspire's 4 or 5 year old technology. He would not recommend it anybody buying it over the Mavic 2 Pro at this point.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Marcus, any kind of thoughts on this?
Well, really not much more. You guys pretty much covered it all. We're just all going to have to wait and see what they come up with. And, you know, like we've all said before, is we know they're going to surprise us with something, right? There'll be some feature about that drone that we're going to go, gosh darn, I want that.
Oh, yeah. I mean, and I would say this too, okay? They are aware of that as far as the consumer space is concerned. So you're going to get a lot of bang for that buck. Let's say there are two versions of it, you know, for that $1,500, $1,600 version. There's going to be a lot of bang for the buck in that, okay? And here's the other thing, all right? With all the, you know, I wanted to say this in closing about this segment. We'll kind of wrap this up here. You know, all the orbit features and those nice things, okay? You know, think about this. They're there, you know, extrapolating this to say a Mavic 3 Pro, and you can use these features as a professional videographer, you know, say, you know, you're filming a car chase scene or, you know, or a boat chase scene or something along those lines, or, you know, someone, you know, up on a mountain, you know, doing rock climbing for a video. I mean, having that tracking capability and a good tracking capability is priceless. And you guys know that with the Skydio. So I think that's one of the things that we're going to see with this is it's going to have an advanced tracking capability that's going to rival Skydio 2. I know that because Frank Wang, his mindset is he wants to be the best. Okay. There's just.
Right. And he's only going to be the best for a while because I'm sure Skydio is hard at work on their next, not only drone, or big operating system updates. So there, you know, he needs to catch up for a little while. And let me just in closing just say that I hope the Mavic 3's big selling point is an 8K video.
Yeah. I don't see. I think
I'm not sure it can have it, but that better not be the selling feature.
The home run feature, yeah.
Oh, by the way, there's an 8K button in here if you want it. I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
But don't sell me that I need to have 8K video.
Question of the day. Do you think DJI will be releasing the DJI Mavic 3 in 2021? Let us know in the comments section below. Thanks so much for watching, and remember, it's a great day to fly.
Jump into the car.